I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. Moving on to page 22 of the Grade 1 Discovering Music Theory book, we're going to continue with sharps, flats and naturals, but looking a bit more closely at the aspect of tones and semitones, or semitones and tones as it says here. Now this is where, as I mentioned earlier on in this chapter, it's really helpful to have the piano keyboard clearly in your mind, and it's so easy to just quickly sketch out a quick diagram of the piano. And again, I'll just do another super quick, find some paper, diagram just to show you can do it as neat as you like, but come exam day when you're in a bit of a rush, you've always got your scrap paper, and just sketch out, regardless of what instrument you play, it's very easy to just give yourself a good octave or so and just get used to this, because it saves all the guesswork. Again, use a ruler, make it as neat as you like, but you can see we have 2 black notes miss, 3 black notes miss, 2 black notes, and so on. So here's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. You could do a little bit of a colour in by all means. So it just shows you how quick and easy it is, and it will be so helpful when we come to look at tones and semitones. So then, moving on. So semi literally means half. It means half a step, and that's the closest interval in Western music. So regardless of what instrument you play, the way we tune our notes is always to semitones. So semitone is a half a step, and so it makes sense that 2 halves make a full step, which is a tone. And let's just look at that on the piano keyboard. It's so much easier to understand. It's nothing to do whether it's going from white to black, or black to white, or even white to white. It's just literally the very next step. So C to C sharp is a semitone. C sharp to D is a semitone. D to D sharp to E. Now here, E to F is also a semitone. The closest note, regardless, is your semitone, your half step. And 2 halves make a full, so C, so half and half is full. C to D is a full step, a tone. D to E is a full tone. E to F is not, because that's only 1 half step. We have to go half to make a full step, so E to F sharp. And so likewise, F sharp to G sharp is a full step, a full tone, because we have half a step to give us a full tone. And this is where it can get a little bit confusing, and I did mention this at the start of the chapter. Each of these notes can be given different names. So notice that F sharp, the sharp raises, is the same sound as G flat. It's written differently on the music, and it's to do with which note it's replacing. The F sharp raises the F, the G flat lowers the G, and it's all to do with which scale system you're representing. So don't worry too much about why. It will become clearer as we learn more about the degrees of the scale. However, just to know that we can give keys or sounds a different name. So E sharp is also F. F flat is the same sound as E. It's written differently on the music because it's replacing different notes. And this is why it's so helpful to have this piano keyboard. And so I think it's probably better to just put it into practice, and as you learn by your mistakes eventually it begins to make perfect sense. So don't worry if it isn't utterly clear right this second. It will soon clarify as you start looking at it in practice as you work through the exercises. So I would always, regardless of what instrument you play, always refer to the piano keyboard, because as I mentioned before, sometimes you could be playing a very next door half step note, and depending upon your instrument it could feel kind of a million miles away because it's a massive change in fingering, or you could be jumping position on the violin or something like that. I know that on the flute from C sharp to D is a massive change in fingering, and it's only just next door. And also it's perhaps less obvious to think that perhaps D sharp and E flat is the same sound, so it would be the same fingering on your instrument perhaps. So it's easier to just visualize that. So now that we've got that kind of prepared in our minds, we're now going to find that this next section becomes super duper easy. And so do have a little read through this, which is what we've just kind of looked at in principle, but now that's looking at it. So C to C sharp is a semitone. C sharp to D is a semitone. 2 halves make a full step. It's just far easier to visualise here than perhaps on the stave of music. So looking at this now, we've got to decide on exercise 5 which of these are tones and which of these are semitones. So which is a full step, which is a half step, and we can do that best by continually referring to the piano keyboard. So watch out for changing clefs, because if you're looking at the wrong note name it's going to lead you astray. So here we have bass clef, all cows eat, to F sharp. If this clef isn't particularly appropriate to your instrument and you find reading a particular clef tricky, do just jot down the letter names just to help you. That's okay, annotate and scribble away to make it as easy as possible. And so we have E to F sharp. Let's see how that looks on the piano. So E to F sharp. We can see it's not the right next door note. It's half a step, half a step. It's a full step away, therefore it's a tone. And so here we have a B in the treble clef, and then we have an A sharp. So there's the B, there's the A sharp. So B to A sharp, which could also be written as B to B flat. However, it's written as A sharp because it's replacing the A by raising it. If it was a B flat, it would be lowering it. It's the same key, same sound, and we can see it's right next door, half a step, and so that's a semitone, so we write an S. Let's look at this last one on this row together. So here we're in the bass clef, we have a C, all cows, and then we have a C sharp. So it's the same note, just raised half a step, and that kind of answers our question. C to C sharp is a semitone, and so that answers our question. And so I do suggest that you now have a go at trying to answer these on your own. Press pause, and then as soon as you're ready you can re-access into the video and we can check them through together. Again, always work in pencil, and then if something goes wrong you can just erase it and have another go, and you always learn better by making your mistakes, so don't worry about it. Now's the time to actually make all those mistakes. Better now than on exam day, really, so you'll learn much more actively by having a go. So I'm hoping you've had a go. Let's look at these together now. So we're back in the treble clef, so watch out, treble clef now. That's a B to a C, very good boy, to the C. Now then, B to C, we can see is right next door, that's a half step, that's a semitone. And then back into the bass clef, keep your eyes peeled, it keeps changing. So here we could either count upwards, good boys deserve football always is the line, next one is B flat, or you could think it's next door down from middle C. B flat, and then good boys deserve football always to A flat. Let's look at that. B flat to A flat. We can see with 2 steps, half steps as it were, which gives us a full tone. That's a tone. It's not right next door. It's next door but 1, so that's a tone. And then still in the bass clef, all cows eat grass, we've got a note G to a G flat, G to G flat, right next door, half a step, that's a semitone. And just to squeeze every drop of learning, G to G flat is the same sound, the same key as G to F sharp, but it's written differently because this is the G that is replaced by going lower. F sharp would be written on the F line, and then we'd replace the note by raising higher. So enharmonic is the word, it's the same sound, same key, different name. Let's press on. So now we've got treble clef, we've got every good G sharp, and then this is the natural that cancels the sharp, so G natural takes us to normal G. So G sharp to G natural, we can see is right next door, half a step, that's a semitone. Still in the treble clef, we have an E flat, F-A-C, E flat, to every good boy deserves D flat. So E flat to D flat, let's look at that. Doesn't really matter which octave you're on in this case, we're just looking at the visual representation. E flat to D flat is 2 semitones, 2 half steps, making a full step, next door but 1, that's a full tone. And finally, back into the bass clef, we have all cows eat grass, a G, and then next door note up is an A, good boys deserve football always, G to A. So there is the G, there is the A. They are not absolutely next door because we've got this black key in between. Half step, 2 halves make a full semitone, semitone makes a tone. So there's our tone. That's that exercise completed. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.